Testing mic. Nice. Not starting yet. Just going to quickly copy something. Not starting yet. 2 more minutes. Okay, mic is on. 11:30. And over to, I want to try something real quick. I kind of cleaned up my face camera a little bit and tried to put a big thing on the side. Tried to get the chat working over there. And looks like chat is working there, and it looks like chat won't fail me today. Looks like I'm seeing all the chats. That's good. All right, so I'm going to be doing this shot. This is for a little test I've been wanting to do for a while now. I just want to do some atmospheric particle stuff, and I think I'm gonna make an attempt to do it on this shot. It's gonna be a little fun camera move because the end of it is going to have to be a hand animated path, and those are always fun. That's barely even being sarcastic. So I'm gonna jump right in and start tracking. Go ahead and track our boy's freckles, it's great that he has. No shortage of freckles. More markers for me. Jared, you're not paying me. You're not paying me at this time to be harassing me outside of work. Tongue, is it anamorphic camera? No, it is not. This is back when I used to own a, what camera is it? This is a Sony a7S Mark II. Not anamorphic. Although I would love to get my hands on some anamorphic footage sometime. Trash track. And now my employer has started a hate train for me. Thank you. Okay, so this is actually a pretty faint point. I shouldn't have led with something like this. Usually you're better off picking off the easier trackers first, because then you're able to get a result quicker and then start jumping into the refinement. So I'm going to skip some of those poor points. That was a poor decision. There's no real contact to be made on his face. So the points here, I'm all right with a little bit of slide and drift. I just need the general movement of the space. This here is beginning to be a bit much, so I'll delete that and pass it off to a corner over here. The depth of field on this is intense. I really missed the depth of field on my old camera. The Blackmagic camera has a small sensor, so you don't really get that glorious of an effect out of it. This time watching a tracking stream, SYNTHEYES looks interesting. Oh, first time watching a tracking stream, SYNTHEYES looks interesting. I've only got experience with Nuke. Only got experience tracking in Nuke? Or that's literally the only software you've used? Tracking in Nuke has gotten surprisingly pretty good, I think. You could do a fair amount in it. And the model builder node is fantastic. I actually used to do a few of my personal shots just in Nuke. And I would use the model because the distortion's pretty decent. The solving, you can get a pretty stable solve. And the model builder node, you can get some pretty detailed bits of set modeled out. And of course, it makes projection mapping and paintwork so fast, and you've got the setup already there. The distortion is just already done. You've got your redistorts and everything. Just starting to play around with tracking. Nice. Tracking is fun until it's not. I think tracking's a lot of fun. There is the occasional, like in any department, there is the occasional shot that comes along and it just kills you. Had too many of those. My boss is apparently creeping. Tell him to chill out and give me easier shots to work on. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Tee-hee. And he laughs. Alright, so how many points here? I'm going to get one on the tip of his nose. I'm not going to go for too many points on this shot. I really only need the background stable, and there is a lot of bokeh, whatever, however you pronounce it. There's a lot of that going on, so the tracking for it shouldn't be too difficult. And once I've got his nose out of here, should not be too long. Especially with distortion anamorphic cam. It's fun, especially with that is sarcasm at its strongest. You are a liar, sir. I have honestly yet to solve my own anamorphic shot. I have never free-solved an anamorphic shot just yet. At least properly. I've done it in SYNTHEYES. SYNTHEYES is not the best at it. I'm learning 3DE at the moment. And I'll be at it soon. I just got to get my hands on a good on a good anamorphic shot. All right, so I'm not going to track too much more here. His glasses, I'm going to fake a point on there just to get the numbers of trackers up. I'm going to go new, duplicate it, offset, and I'm going to guess with this tracker what the space is going to be because I'm going to play it and pretend that this tracker belongs somewhere here. While this tracker is visible here, I should use it to reference for this one. That's pretty rough. Bring that down. Again, this only needs to be very rough. I don't need this tracker to be perfect. Again, this is just for general motion for the foreground. Oh, I didn't track his nose the other way. That's stupid. If you don't want to spend all your time nudging, just hit E, disable your tracker, and then hit 0 on your number pad, and it'll place your tracker at the next predicted frame. And then it kind of reduces the nudge distance that you have to go through. Yeah, that background is wreaking havoc. Again, this is another case where if you were tracking in 3D, you can tug your target box off to the side on his nose and kind of exclude the background entirely. I should just use by hand on a couple of these frames here. I'm gonna use by hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go refine that. There, that was much easier. I should have did that from the start. Okay, so we got that going. So we got a few points on his head. I will likely apply more to those later. For now, these 3 points should be enough to get me and even these 2 points at this point should be able to give me something okay to work with. So now, I don't know if I want to track trees in the far background. I'll probably have a bunch of low points right here, and I'll try to keep higher weighting generalized on this tree. That's because I don't want to have too much focus of the solve on different depths in the scene. So I'm going to start tracking at the end here and kind of work my way to the other side. Also, my target box is going to be a lot bigger because these bokeh blurs start to expand, and that's a lot of pixels to track. So I'm going to go P, and you want to remember to fix this if you do this, but I'm going to quarter res my footage. Quarter res might have been a bit much, but we'll see. It's going to help my tracker work a lot more smooth since I've expanded its area so much. All right, where else are we? We are here. Good. I'm kind of tracking some fake details here. These light specks are caused by you're seeing paths of different objects at different depths merge and kind of form a fake line. So I'm just kind of keeping that in mind that these points aren't 100% rigid. I put a key outside the box, outside the bounding area. Not good. There is a fair amount of parallax going on. Like there's enough parallax going that I can actually probably pull a 3D solve out of this. I don't want to. I'll really probably do that by hand. I could see this branch parallaxing apart from the further branches. Oh, the chat text isn't really disappearing on the side there. Didn't realize that I had it stay on forever. Hope it's not too irritating. Is there distortion there, or is this an undistorted plate? This is distorted. There is distortion. I'm pretty curious to see what this is going to do to me because I don't have this lens anymore. At the time, I didn't know a thing about lenses when I owned this lens. And also, I have a massive rack focus. So I'm so close to his face, and I'm focusing up to the trees. For anybody who doesn't know, when you focus, that will change your zoom and potentially your distortion as well. It'll more change your zoom. But there are a lot of cases in some lenses that will have very intense animated distortion from situations like this. So I'm very curious what it's going to do to me. But we'll find out pretty soon. I don't think I'm too far off from starting to solve this. Since half these points are tracked in a way where I know they're not great, I'm kind of expecting to not pull the most accurate distortion out of this. It's an it's an adventure. Now I just want a Bilbo Baggins running away with a SYNTHEYES license. When you have very little points at any given part of your shot, but you have details like what I'm tracking right now, it is pretty important that you make the best effort you can to extend these as far as you can. A lot of people will shut this off and say that there's nothing left to track. Don't be those people. Okay, where's my gross green juice? This cucumber, green apple, cucumber, celery, kale, pineapple, lemon. This is gross. This is one of the gross, nastier drinks that I've had. And I can't shake it because I don't know where the bottle cap is. 1 second. Never mind. It was right here. Sorry, need a drink. 3D beat SYNTHEYES on this. Oh yeah, definitely. Tongue is right. This is where 3DE would win. This is a spherical lens. SYNTHEYES actually can solve and do animated distortion on a shot like this. It's just not going to do it as with such refinement as 3DE will. that reaction. I hope that reaction is to me shaking the water bottle and shaking this bottle in the microphone. It looked like the audio picked up when I did that. Gross. It's actually, the initial taste is quite pleasant, but then it's not. Turns into nightmares and cat food. Nowhere near cat food, honestly. Sounds disgusting. I kind of wish I heard that. Curious what it sounded like. Oh man, I'm really excited to see how the solve for this one turns out. This is I really like shots like this. I like ones where I have to manually make the path. Don't know why. Like the abuse. Okay, I'll get rid of that one. Try to get this stuff in the background. I'm probably going to try and cheat and make a couple of these points far as well. This point here, I'm actually not going to make it last super long. Drifts here a little bit. That one drifts quite a bit too. That's okay. For now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then... Okay, let's get a point over here. Down below, maybe. Oh, it's for the... I missed the other message, Mark. It's for the drink. Something I really missed about... One thing I missed about a place that I used to work was that it was so easy for me to stop by Starbucks and get green juice every day. Sadly, I do not pass a Starbucks, at least not one that I have to get off at. But I always used to get the green juice there. And then at home, I would blend whatever nasty, gross ingredients that I can find that I haven't eaten from some dinner. We'll get a blender. We'll get a blender. You guys can use the blender. You guys enjoy your blender. I'll bring my own bullet blender. You guys will get us Track VFX. We'll get a some secondhand. You're gonna get off of Craigslist. Somebody took a living room fan and taped knives to it. I prefer my wow. Mark here is bringing his A game with the comedy. That was pretty good. I'd love for this point that I think this thing moves. That's weird. No, it's not moving. It's just the overpowering highlight expanding outwards. That's right. Just for a laugh, I'm gonna... Oh, I didn't... This point doesn't last. Just for a laugh, I'm about to do a quick solve on this and just see what it does. Oops, I did not end this point. There we go. All right, what does it do? Let me take this tracker, make it far. Oh my god, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna try and make this one far. This is dangerous, by the way, making all these far. Not the best decision. I'm so certain that zoom is gonna cause me hell as well. I think I'm gonna track a couple more points on him for now, so that hopefully some of these foreground points help me get a little bit of the depth in the background as well. I don't think that's actually going to be the case, to be honest. But more points anywhere. I know his head's rocking back and forth. What did that do? Did 1 point at least push things in any kind of depth? Oh, the solve was also inverted. Wow, okay, cool. Oh, and it looks like I flipped it back. Okay. All right. Okay, that's better. That's a lot better. Okay, so let's stitch up a few more trackers here. Ooh. Solve. Nope. Oh, well, I didn't even extend this in the other direction. Again. Again. Point down there would be great. Hey, it's solved. Oh my god, what's with me leaving all these tracks? I think I keep looking off to the side at the chat just because I'm fearful I'm gonna miss something. That I keep forgetting to track some of these points. Realistically, anybody watching this and commenting is to blame. I bear no weight on my I bear no weight on the results of any of my decisions or actions, I should say. All right, let's get rid of that one. Okay, these points, what are they going to do? Nice. I like that. I think I might have to make another one of these far. I really don't want to go overboard with the far points. But I also don't want to track a lot of this. How many frames is this on for? There's not too much movement for it. Akam, hello Akam. Akam, tomorrow or Saturday, I'm gonna track one of your car shots. Anybody listening who cares, I'm gonna do. Akam suggested that I do a car. Track a car driving on the road, solve the car, make sure the car sticks on the road, constrain the car. Did I download the files? I have not downloaded them yet. Yesterday's stream, when I had my chest hurt suddenly, because of that, I immediately went and lay down for a good while. So I actually haven't fully looked at the files you had or downloaded them. Yeah, that night I just kind of was hurting. And so I just laid down and then eventually went to sleep, woke up, and had to go to my job. Had to go to my job. Had to remote into my job. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to get into some zoom on here, which is unfortunate. Also, I zero-weighted. Oh, I had zero-weight on. Did something get zero-weighted? Oh, something got zero-weighted. Wait, what got zero-weighted? One of these points is not influencing the solve. I made an accident. So let me quickly, everything. Danasa, Robert, yes. Danasa in the chat recognizes this guy. He's friend of mine, friend of ours. Yes, Danasa. Akam, everything is ready for tracking. Nice. Do you have the 3D Model Cars website? I do not, but Akam does. Or Akam provided me the stuff. I don't fully remember the details on how he sent me stuff. Also, Akam, we'll see what the footage is, because like I said, some car shots are really hard. And depending on how difficult it is, I might either trim the footage or we might look for another one. Like we'll see. Because some car shots I don't like to stream for too long because I can't sit for longer than 2 hours and talk. But we'll see. Like there's a good chance I'll probably just say, "Yeah, that looks awesome. I want to do it anyway." Like there is a really good chance that that's how it's going to go. They're not royalty free. Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. That's a good point. We'd have to figure that out, Akam. There are some sites where I can find. Oh, are they? Oh, was that unless that was a question from Tongue, like, are they royalty free? You bought it. I don't. I think if you bought it, Akam, I don't think that gives me the right to use it and use it for my purposes. At least I have to guess because I actually don't know how any of that works. But it'd be interesting to figure that out. If not, like I can definitely find vehicles and models and I can get something. No, I give you the site, but YouTube censor. Oh. Yeah, I wonder if it's safe for me to use that footage, Akam, because I don't want to get in trouble. Because I don't have any of the rights to that footage, and if it appears on like the track channel, like I don't want to get this channel a strike. All right, quick solve. Ooh. Oh, is it working? Whoa, it's working. It's kind of working. Dude. Okay. This is kind of going. That point down there didn't solve, but it's okay. Kind of expected that. That's exciting, man. Tracking can be exciting. It can be exciting or hell. The middle ground, the middle ground is there, but it's usually exciting or hell, at least for me. Danasa, what are you doing in this shot? What are you planning to do with this, Robert? Um, I shot this a long time ago because I wanted to do a fun video with a Captain America shield. So I shot a series of clips, and I had like a small short that I wanted to make. I made the shield one point. It looked pretty cool, but then I just got a job, and then I ran out of time, and then I tried to work in it while I was working, and then I just lost it. But for this shot now, I want to practice some comp stuff and some particle stuff. I'm learning a whole bunch of Houdini at the moment. I'm learning Houdini and 3D Equalizer at the moment. So right now, I'm thinking I want to try and extract his hair from the forest and get a clean paint out of the sky. Uh, Also, I might do some actual CG refraction on the glass just so I can see how I can comp the layers in an efficient manner. And then, yeah, there's going to be some particles here. I might even make the camera just animate upwards and just take off from this camera. But I'm thinking I just want to extract him, put a really simple environment, and then put some kind of atmospheric particle thing, like, I don't know, some spores. I don't know. Danasa, how are you? Don't give Danasa attention. Danasa does not deserve the attention. Oh, I have footage of Danasa. I should track some footage of Danasa sometime. Did you try the course I've sent you for Houdini? Not yet. I have it bookmarked, I think. The site that I've been looking at for Houdini, because like I was saying when you showed me that stuff, the sites that I like, Entigma, which is so far my favorite YouTube channel for Houdini. They have some pretty big VFX studios backing them. Their tutorials are some of the best I've ever found for Houdini. They're great. I've mainly been glued to their videos. Okay, I think I want to force this to solve down here before I move further, because I think I'm at the point where I might start animating my camera path and finishing this off. I have all Entegma Patreon videos. Nice. Yeah, I gotta support them here. I want to jump on that train. Their stuff is too incredible. You should have Robert shooting laser beam from his eyes. I just love the idea of a 6-foot ginger firing lasers from his face. Oh, you're pale as a ghost? Let me give you laser eyes as compensation. You're welcome, human. Minority laser. Here we go. I hate equalizer interface. Yeah, the interface is kind of weird. I'm getting used to it now. Like, I can kind of appreciate it, but I don't like the hotkeys. I don't like how some of the menus need to be navigated, but I love that 3DE will remember the file path for everything and even leave some of the paths for file like import, export, and like lens selections. It leaves it all there for you because it knows you're probably going to frequently swap through all these things. I love a lot of things Equalizer's doing with its interface, but there's a lot about it that is still bugging me. Okay, I'm gonna see what happens if I start doing a path for this now. That solved. All those points didn't solve. I'm okay with these points not solving. They're gonna solve when I jump into Refine, I think. Let's go into Refine. Okay, one solved. That's cool. Okay, so here we're gonna start making our hand path. I think PF Track's still best software. I don't know yet. Like back when I used PF Track, it's really cool. I got to play around with it more to judge that myself. Looks like it still looks awesome, and I love the node pipeline. I'm certain if I jumped into it, it would probably win me over very fast. Because back when I used it, doing stuff in it was so easy. I just can't remember most of it now to judge. Tried PF Track a long time ago. It was pretty. Yeah, it was awesome. Danasa. I kind of want to learn Blender, but I feel like I've been brainwashed by Ian Hubert. Yeah, I want to learn Blender too. Blender, I use it for small animations. I used it for where's the I used Blender to render the background for this. I did the animation in Maya Mash, but just so I can quickly light it and just easily render it and also render on a friend's computer. That background with the moving stuff, I rendered it. It was rendered in Blender, I think. I started rendering it in Redshift, and it gave me a great result. I actually wait. Which one did I use now? I might have used it for a different thing. I don't know if that's Redshift or Blender. I don't remember. The main logo might be in Blender actually. Sometimes I do the text in Blender because it's easy for me to position some stuff, and for some reason I have a habit of rendering. Not this text on the stream though. Oh, I'm gonna swap back. Oh, wait, that transition. I mean, that's Blender. I remember that's Blender 100%. So when I swap back and forth, that big rotating triangle, the track logo, that's Blender. But yeah, not the best thing. It's just quick. Akam, I have a Redshift license. If you need, let me know. I own Redshift. I got me a license of Redshift. Most of my software I own, and I keep buying it one by one as I go. I like owning my programs. I like the support and stuff. How many Redshift licenses do you have, man? Two? Nice. Actually, wait, I might have two. Oh, you know what? I didn't check earlier for the zero weight point. Okay, so I'm about to do the camera path, but first let me just see what point I zero weighted. I'm gonna go to script. I can't scroll. Oh my god. Are you serious, SYNTHEYES? I can't scroll down. Okay, 1 second. I gotta bring it over to my other window just to scroll down the scripts window. That's annoying. Select by type. I went to scripts and I hit select by type. So here I can go. Where's zero weight? Ah, it's already selected. Okay. So now I have one. I zero weighted this point. That's why I didn't solve. Okay, zero weight off, far. That was stupid. All right. Once I get more into the refine, actually, let's take these points in the foreground real quick. And I'm going to zero weight. No, I'm going to turn the weight down by half. So hopefully more of the weighting goes to the background and we don't get it as intense of a bob. It's still going to... Oh yeah, that stabilized it a decent amount. Okay. A bit. Still there, but whatever. All right. So now... the annoying part. Okay, so I'm going to go to the last frame where my camera is kind of doing proper things. You could see the last 2 points that are hanging on for dear life on his glasses are just lasting up until here, and this is where I'm going to start my camera. I do want to just make sure that these points, like close to his hairline, you can see they slide down his face. That's because these points don't cover enough area to tell SYNTHEYES not to, push forward or back. There's just not enough foreground data to lock the camera in place. So I'm going to put a point here and just make at least 1 point last for a little bit, just to help roughen a bit more of that camera path before I start to BS it. And really try to make this point last. And I'm going to give up on it now. So you can see how far these 2 points really slide down. Like, that's pretty significant. So when I hit solve... Oh. Oh, because, yeah, I got to track in this other direction. Again. I need to wire up like a taser that shocks me whenever chat notices that I'm straying, so that I don't have to forget stupid little garbage like that. All right, here we go. So this point, you can see the terrible depth on this point. Now that I've tracked more frames, solve, hey, it's in a pretty nice spot. So now when I go ahead, it has now locked the forehead points up there for a little bit longer. So that is good news. It's good for a little bit longer. So now for sure, we're going to start animating our path at the end here. First, let me just put in a matrix so we can see just exactly how bad it looks. And let's level this out just a bit. Whoops, whole effects mesh is off, so I can rotate my scene without messing around with the camera position. Okay, I think that's aligned with the street. All right, so here's what we're dealing with. Sorry, let me shrink this just a bit. We're not seeing the most amount of depth that we could be seeing. All right, there we go. And that is awful. Okay, just gonna have another quick drink of gross juice. Oh, I gotta shake it again. Because all the veggie stuff sunk to the bottom. Sorry, Mark, I'm gonna shake it again in the mic. I am so sorry. Health. My health sucks. Mark, get out of here with that moist shit. Didn't ask for that. All right. I don't get people's problem with that word. I mean, I get it. It's not that bad. Donasa, what are you drinking? Stop being. What am I drinking? It's I don't know. I just grab random pressed juices. This one is green apple, cucumber, celery, kale, pineapple, lemon, and ginger. It is nasty. The initial flavor goes down smooth, but then it tastes like Clorox toilet bowl cleaner. Does Clorox make toilet bowl cleaner? I think I just mixed two things. Far too healthy. I am not a healthy individual. I eat well because I really enjoy eating bad. I like junk food. I like fast food a lot. That's the primary motivation that makes me eat healthier. My fridge is full of like vegetables and fruit right now. I do a lot with that stuff, except again, I love fast food. Like I get a lot of junk food and sweets and stuff all the time. If I cut that out, I could be a god. But sadly, I'd much rather have a Twix dipped in ice cream and then rolled up in a waffle wafer cone thing and dipped in sprinkles. Eat more Uncle Ben rice. Desmond, hello. I hope you jumped in just as I described my ideal snack. Okay, I'm just kind of pondering how I'm going to animate this because the motion, for anybody who's been wondering, I've been scrubbing back and forth. I'm actually thinking in my head of what this camera's going to curve like. I'm going to wing it here. I'm going to see what kind of result comes of this if I just wing it. So I'm going to open up the graph editor. And let's shrink this down. Far too massive. All right, this is opened up. And I hate seeing the color bars. These color bars tell you if you have enough trackers on this certain frame range. Half the time I just turn it off. Actually, all the time I turn it off. I hate it. It's just me. It's so bright. I don't like bright things. That's why I don't look at the mirror. My complexion reflects light back into my eyes. You'd lose me in a snowstorm. Partially. I'm Métis. I'm not fully white. What am I doing? Right here. You know what? I'm actually just going to get rid of the whole path. Oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of the rotations, actually. So let's undo that. The rotations are pretty bad, but they're going to guide me for a few extra frames. And the rotations up to here, it's so bad. Let's just get rid of a couple spikes. And let's just get rid of the end up to there. Okay, I just needed a bit of that movement to help me out here. There we go. And I'm going to shrink down... Danasa, would it be easier to animate manually for the end? Seems like a very smooth and simple move. Yes. Yeah, it's much easier to hand animate at the end. So that is what I'm doing. So this part, yeah, I'm just going to gradually make a couple keyframes and smooth it out and then just let the rotation solve itself. Something I should also do, which will help out, is I'm going to make a new matrix in a second. I'm going to put in a 6-foot man. Thankfully, I know this boy is 6 foot. So I'm going to go 200. Well, 200 isn't 6. 200 is what I am. I'm taller than 6 feet. 200 centimeters is my height. I can't remember what six. I don't even remember if he's exactly 6 foot. I think he's a little bit taller than 6 foot. He's probably closer to 200 centimeters, like me. So bring this down. This human here is just gonna help me reference his point in space off screen. I'm gonna rotate him 90. Which way is 90? Come on. Why is y-axis the first one? Don't like that. Also, his arm is now going to be in the way. So I'm going to go into F3, orbit, Control F to frame. Oh, and he disappeared. So I have to go edit, scene settings, add a 0 to our far clip. And I'm going to add a 1 to our near clip. SYNTHEYES' 3D space breaks really easily if your extremes are too crazy. So now that I found our boy, I'm going to come over to Mesh. And I'm going to get lightsaber deletion. Get rid of his arm. Just don't need to see that arm by the camera. Big on. All right, this is yes, this is good. This is good. So I'm going to go whole, move, line up his head roughly. And now you can see our head points are sitting over here. I'm going to go scale with whole on. And now if I click and drag from the camera, I can scale those points until they go and reach our 6-foot dude's face. What are these? Oh, those are the far points. The far points follow the camera because they don't have a real depth in the scene. They're just this infinitely thing that really only affects rotation and not path. Okay, and wireframe. Oh, let's make a new matrix now at this new scale. All right, so give it a quick watch. See how it do. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm just going to imagine where I think his head should be. I'm kind of going to scrub here for a second and try to imagine where his head's going to sit off camera. I know that my camera is moving backwards slightly because there was a branch up here. I can watch the parallax in this branch and see that I'm actually moving slightly back to the right. I could solve that. Again, I just don't want to spend all night tracking 1,000 points on these trees. So I'm not gonna. Plus, this environment's gonna be all replaced. So I'm not gonna track those trees. You can't ask me to. All right. Let's get this path. Is the chat too intrusive on the screen? I'm gonna shrink that down a bit, man. Let's go width. I don't know. Will half width be fine? And then height down by half as well. Let's just make a 300 by 300 box. Okay, we shrunk that chat way down. So hopefully that's a little better. That chat was really covering up a lot of screen. I didn't realize. That's my bad. All right. Did that also change across my other screens? Oh, the box is so tiny. Yay. And you guys don't see the actual box size. Ah, well. It is a disappointing life you guys lead. Okay, so I'm going to try it back here. It looks like it should have went a little further. No, no. It's going to slow down right here and then come to a halt. Okay, let's nudge the camera for a few frames over here. Oh, I deleted too far earlier on the path. My bad. So I'll just stitch this up slightly. Hey, I have chocolate. It's not all bad. You have chocolate. I don't know what you're referencing. I don't remember if I said something. But I just love the timing of that statement. It just doesn't seem to fit anywhere in the conversation. But I'm happy it's there. And I'm certain you're happy your chocolate is there. I'm just happy you're happy, man. You said we lead a disappointment. Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? It's funny that I say I like junk food and also I eat healthy to eat junk food because I have green juice here, but I also have a cookie. Oh man, look at that. I can make the cookie fit the frame of the camera. Almost there. Yeah. Hell yeah. Saving that for after the stream. I'm gonna go to town on those cookies later. Eat it. I'll have a celebratory cookie if this solve works to what I need it to be at the end of the stream. Okay, so here this path. I'm gonna blast out that stupid little move. Okay, that won't be too bad. Let's blast that out real quick. And why is it even there? Oh. Oh, right there. This spike is that spike. So wipe that out. And I don't like this. Oh, wait. I did that one manually, didn't I? Let's bring that one back. Oh, no, that spike was that. Oh, man. Stupid. I am stupid. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna try smooth this now and just see what a solve looks like. So I'm gonna smooth it quite aggressively, even before the points on his face leave frame. Nandu, I can't pronounce that. Nandudo design. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you drop by. I'm sorry, I absolutely butchered your username. That was kind of bad and embarrassing. Okay, so if you just jumped in, Nan, I'm gonna call you Nandu. I like Nandu. That's pretty cool. I did a solve, and the point of this is that the end of this camera is more of a hand animated fix because the path, you just can't solve the foreground here. Not really cleanly anyway. So I just made a smooth path by hand. I don't like this frame. I'm going to get rid of that, and then I'm going to... Oh, of course it's the one that I made there. You know what? Let's just blast it out of there. I don't need that. Okay, let's do a smooth. We're going to smooth this path and then solve the rotations and just see what this does. Hopefully it is a miracle. Love me a good miracle. So I don't want to smooth the beginning too much. I will smooth that later. But I mostly want to smooth the hell out of the end. So I'm going to animate the strength. I'm going to make it 0 here. Also, the first frame has a key, so I got to go back and right click, make that 0. Remember, right-clicking anything in SYNTHEYES will zero out the values. And I'm gonna come over to a few frames just around where the head starts to go off. Turn the strength up to 1. And now we only have a strength up to 1 for the end of the shot. So I'm going to apply this. Oh, oops. Oh no. There we go. I didn't turn on path. Okay, apply. I'm going to spam that a few times. Like, actually a lot of times. Reset the filter. Always hit reset when you're done with the filtering control. And a moment of truth. This is where I panic a bit now. I'm going to lock the path, turn on position, get that smooth path that we just did. We got to get it loaded in right here. So again, get loads in that smooth path that we made and puts it into the seed values. And the seed values is what your lock is actually locking to. So now I'm going to turn constrain on and go. Oh no. That moved a lot. That makes me uncomfortable. But it's solving. It's solving. Why did that expand so much? I'm going to undo this. I'm going to take a couple points here. Couple points around here. One on his forehead. I'm going to give him fake position data. I'm going to plus, minus, and then turn on lock. So now these points... Oh, I locked a couple of far points. What if that'll work? What happens if I do that? Oh. Oh, I didn't... Oh, did it work? Oh my god. Oh my god, it worked. Nandu. It's Nandu Design. Oh, Nandu.design. That's amazing. I have a question. Can I ask? Shoot. Ask your question, man. That's kind of going. Oh man, that looks cool. Look at the path. Look at the motion. I love, man, so many people ignore motions like this. Like there's a lot of people in the industry who take a track and they'll just turn this end into a simple nodal, but you can keep it dynamic and you can put in a free move and make it cool, man. I gotta fix that rotation at the beginning. Poor. So pretty. Thank you. I'll have that salary boost, please. All right, I'm gonna have a drink of water while Nandu is asking his question. A calm asking a question mark. For anybody who doesn't know, Poor is my employer. He is my boss. He is one of the owners of Track VFX. And while Nandu is asking his question, I'm just gonna do a real quick. I gotta stand up for a moment. So one moment. Okay. How did you fix the last keyframes? The last frames? Oh no. I think a calm left us prematurely. And now he wants the answers that he wasn't here for. No, I'm just kidding. Oh boy. So what I did was, what's the easiest way for me to show this now? Because I don't really want to undo it. um, Also, real quick, I want to darken this footage so I can see it better. Oh, it's caching. Save it and undo it. Oh, I could. I saved it. How far do I have to undo? I don't remember if I fixed my undo limit. How far do I gotta go? I'm spamming undo. We'll see where it's... Oh, by the way, Akam, just because I'm undoing it, I don't know if it's going to show you much because I'm not going to redo it. I don't want to redo it. That was pretty annoying. Anyway, so I left it here. So the path, this is where the solve ended up, and now it's just dead because there's no foreground and not enough points at the end. So basically all I did was I took the camera and here I'm not going to drag it because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my redo. I could just reopen the file. I dragged it around for a few frames and kind of imagined what the path was going to do. And then once it was like this, let's pretend that that path is more curved out because I put the camera in a couple positions that I wanted it to be in. And then I smoothed the path, basically. I did a little bit more with the smooth because I animated the smooth so that I wouldn't affect the beginning frames, only the end. So I animated the strength on a few frames. So I just made it overly smooth, which, hold on, I gotta open this file on my other window for reasons. So yeah, I tweaked it around on a couple frames and I smoothed it. And then I went into refine, turned on the position lock, got the path loaded in, and then I turned on constrain. A couple points here are locked just because if you lock the path, you still might get a little different position in the points that you solved. I wanted to keep the solved position, so I locked a couple of these points in place, and then I'd hit solve, and that's this. I hope that's a decent explanation. You could, of course, go back and watch this on YouTube. I just don't want to redo those steps because that part was kind of annoying. All right, Nandu. So I'm kind of starting to learn. Oh, goodbye, Jared. Looks like Jared has a job to do in the morning or tonight. Okay, Nandu. So I'm kind of starting to learn match moving, set fitting, etc. But I'm kind of confused which software to learn, like SYNTHEYES or 3D Equalizer. I'm from India. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are, if you want to be more valuable to a lot more studios, go with 3D Equalizer. 3D Equalizer makes doing set builds a lot easier. In some cases, because SYNTHEYES to me has better geometry building and stuff than 3D does. 3D has a really cool triangulation mesh thing, but anyway, 3D generally is going to be your safer bet because the anamorphic distortion in it is great if you have set data. Because 3DE, you really got to hold its hand and give it a lot of data to solve. SYNTHEYES is a lot better if you want to free solve things and solve things without having a lot of like on-set data or reference or anything. This shot, I had no reference for anything in the background, but I've been tweaking around manually. I have minimal points everywhere. 3D, you need a bit more points to get a solve out of. 3D's UI is a little bit tough to navigate at times for certain things. And it's a little funny with splitting windows. I find splitting windows, graph editors, and stuff for animation and SYNTHEYES is easier. Did you buy the Equalizer? It's too pricey. Can you get an educational license for 3D? I actually don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know. Anyway, Nandu, you're going to be more valuable to a lot more studios if you learn 3D. If you're doing freelance and stuff, or just doing your own projects, SYNTHEYES is kind of the way to go. It's very fast at solving. It's much easier to learn, and I've used it for like 7 years now, and I've done a lot of big projects with it. I've done Stranger Things, Rampage. We've done a lot of really cool projects at Track VFX with SYNTHEYES. Here recently, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this. We worked on a pretty big movie to which a trailer has dropped recently. And we used a lot of SYNTHEYES for it for some very complex shots. Am I allowed to talk about it? Hold on, I want to... One second. Um, you have office in Los Angeles. Do we have an office in Los Angeles? We do not. But one of the owners of the company frequently travels back and forth between Vancouver and LA. So really, if anybody in LA needs to have meetings and stuff, and or any kind of in-house stuff with us, like we're very flexible in that sense. So we say we're in LA and Vancouver. Um, Wait, sorry, I want to scroll up in chat. I just want to make sure I finished a couple chat. Nandu, I hope I answered your question well. I think I finished it. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Nandu. Yeah, I really hope that helped. And Danasa, learning SYNTHEYES helped me understand 3D tracking better, and I'm able to basically use what I learned in SYNTHEYES and apply it to, say, Nukes Tracker. Yeah, once you learn how solving software kind of works, you can easily transfer the concepts over to every other program that can solve a camera. It just so happens to me that SYNTHEYES happens to be a really good gateway drug. Also, SYNTHEYES is super flexible with exports and like data that can ship in and out. Also, SYNTHEYES has so many cool hidden tools here, and they just keep adding to this. Yes, 3D has a lot of really cool stuff, but you also need to download some stuff for it. Tongue, 3D requires a lot of setups to work. More expensive, but outcomes somewhat better for large projects. Yeah, exactly. Tongue is 100% right. Yeah, 3D, actually, that's kind of what I was just saying too. You gotta download a lot of really cool scripts for it off of their website, or tools that people have scripted online if you want some of the really extra fancy stuff. But out of the box, then 3D has some pretty cool tools. So you just gotta work with what you have. So I think I might leave this, honestly, because I just needed this camera to move so I can get an environment in the background. I don't care if it's that slidey and whatever, because if I do go through with this shot for my own fun, I'm gonna wipe this all out. I'm really happy with the move. So I'm going to give it one more smooth just for the foreground, because the foreground up front is funny. I did that animated smooth, so I'm going to give this overall one more hit. Bam, applied. I got to stop saying bam or boom. I've noticed so many people in tutorials, when they hit a button, they go boom or bam. And it's just kind of, I don't want to be that. I just don't want to be that. So I'm going to get this path loaded in, because I've smoothed it a bit more. You have to reload that path and keep your lock on and go. All right. Yeah, it's a little smoother. There we go. Nice. Let's bring the exposure up a little bit and just give this some final checks. I mean, final checks. I already know that there's some sliding going on everywhere, but again, I'm okay with it. This is my own shot, and I know what I want with it. Nandu, you can get a personal learning edition for free from their site. Huh. I didn't realize you can get one for free. That is awesome. Oh, sweet. I might pick it up. Was this the for a 3D learning edition? Can you get an education license for, yeah. Yeah, Mark, 3D, that's definitely worthwhile software to learn. It's just gonna be a little bit little bit tougher to learn because up front, I find that the tutorial. Okay, you're gonna find this if you learn 3D. The tutorials online, for the most part, they all rely on having set data to get a really tough solve going. And if they don't have LiDAR or measurements or anything to help them, their tutorials, if they're doing a free solve with no data, the camera always moves so much that it's like, well, of course it's going to get a 3D solve. And then, yeah, so you're not going to be really able to learn how to do the really, really tough shots out of 3D, simply, which is very unfortunate. It's kind of the same with SYNTHEYES. It's hard to get some of the stuff that I'm showing. I personally think nobody online is really showing, as far as I know. And I really hope that somebody goes and does some stuff like this for the other programs, because I want to see it. All right, so yeah, I think I'm going to leave the shot here as it is. So if anybody has any lingering questions, now is your chance. That's okay. I can come here and you can teach me. Dude, I can teach you. I plan to jump into 3D sometime in the next few months. I'm slowly picking it up, and I'm getting better and better in it. I just got to be much more comfortable in it before I start to teach it. Oh, let's put this away. So by the looks of it, it doesn't seem like anybody has any life-changing questions. So that is good. So I am going to retire this, and again, you probably won't see the shot. You probably will never see the shot done. Typically, when I do any tests of anything, I practice the effect that I want to do. I learn a bunch of stuff about it, but it's very rare that I really, really go through with stuff, which kind of sucks. Because once I've learned something, I'm kind of happy. That's what my goal was. I just really want to understand a lot about, other departments. That's what makes me happy, is that when I can work with others and just know what's going on. All right, cool. So, I'm gonna stop now. And oh, dude, was Mark the one who said I should eat the? I'm happy. I'm kind of happy with my camera solve. So here's my celebratory cookie. It's great. Tastes a little like chemical. It's not a particularly good cookie. It's really not. It's okay. It's a good cookie. Yes, he did. All right. It wasn't the most rewarding cookie, but anyway, thanks for the stream, man. It was interesting. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for people who were chatting. Don't care, still cookie. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. Had cookie. All right. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone. As I try to click out of the stream now because I can't find my... Hey, thanks for watching. There's the graphic. There's my fancy graphic. Bye, Danasa. Bye, Nandu. All right, see ya. I'm gonna stop.